Student of the way, imagine this moment. You overhear a lie, sharp, deliberate, and aimed at someone you once held close. A distortion spreading through the world like wildfire, carried by careless tongues. And you stand there in the quiet, with a single question burning in your chest. Should I speak, or should I remain silent and avoid the storm? To many, silence feels safe. But in the dojo of the inner world, safety is not the measure of a warrior. The ancient masters taught, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. The way does not praise noise, nor does it encourage reckless confrontation. But it also does not permit a warrior to hide behind silence when truth is under attack. There are moments where silence becomes betrayal, a betrayal of your values, your character, and ultimately, yourself. Student of the way, in this teaching, you will learn 5 moments when silence ceases to be golden, and when a true practitioner of the way must speak. Walk with me to the end of this lesson for its full impact. 1. Student of the way. There is a moment when silence becomes dangerous. It is when your integrity is under attack. In the dojo of the inner world, integrity is one of your sacred pillars. Epictetus taught, no one can harm you unless you harm yourself first. So when others twist your character and you remain silent, the wound begins within. Imagine a colleague falsely claiming your ideas as their own. You may feel noble for staying quiet, but you are surrendering your narrative. You are allowing another to paint your face in their colors. A warrior of the way is not reactive, but a warrior is never passive. Silence here is not humility, it is surrender. To speak calmly, clearly, and truthfully is not ego. It is the defense of your virtue and the protection of your honor. 2. Student of the way. There is another moment when silence becomes a wound. It is when others are suffering under injustice. A true practitioner of the way does not walk the path alone. The ancient masters taught, what is not good for the hive is not good for the bee. When injustice poisons the world around you, you cannot pretend to be untouched. Silence is not neutral. It becomes part of the harm. Imagine a colleague being bullied, a student humiliated, a neighbor judged for their background. To remain silent is to allow the wound to deepen. The way calls you to speak not from anger, but from reason, from duty, from the understanding that all beings are connected. When you defend another, you defend justice itself. When you stay silent, fear speaks in your place. 3. Student of the way. There is a third moment when silence becomes a barrier. It is when you hold knowledge that could help another walk the path. The way is not a philosophy of isolation. Master Yosho teaches, while we teach, we learn. Wisdom is not meant to be hoarded in the shadows of the dojo. It is meant to illuminate the road for those still stumbling in the dark. Perhaps you overcame procrastination through discipline, control, and daily action. Now you see another suffering the same struggle. If you stay silent, you withhold a lifeline, not from ignorance, but from fear. A Stoic does not preach, but a Stoic guides, quietly, humbly, consistently. In a world drowning in noise, your clear insight may be the spark that saves someone. Speak, not for admiration, but to be of service. 4. Student of the way. There is a fourth moment when silence becomes dangerous. It is when your silence enables toxicity. In the dojo of life, nothing corrupts a space faster than unchallenged cruelty, gossip, or manipulation. These forces do not thrive because they are powerful. They thrive because good people choose to say nothing. The ancient masters warned, "He who does not oppose evil commands it to be done." If you stand among those who tear others down, and you remain quiet because it is not your business, you become part of the decay. Not all silence is peace. Sometimes silence is weakness. A warrior of the way knows that protecting outer harmony at the cost of inner virtue is a false bargain. True peace is rooted in truth, and truth sometimes requires calm, unwavering confrontation. The courage to say, "This is not right," may not make you popular, but it will make you free. 5. Student of the way. There is a fifth moment when silence becomes a betrayal. It is when the right thing demands a voice. The way is not passive endurance. It is righteous action. When you witness deception, cruelty, or corruption and remain silent, you are not avoiding risk. You are denying your duty. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "We were born to work together, like feet, hands, and eyes." Your ethics do not end at the edge of your own life. To speak for what is right may cost you approval or comfort, but to stay silent in the presence of wrongdoing costs something far greater: your soul. Sometimes courage is not a shout. It is a whisper that breaks the spell of indifference. A single sentence in a room full of silence. A refusal to laugh at cruelty. A refusal to look away. Student of the way, remember this: no pain is worse than self-betrayal, and no reward is greater than looking in the mirror and knowing you stood for what was right, even when it was hard. Student of the way, in closing, not all silence is wisdom, and not all words are noise. There will be moments when silence feels safe, strategic, even powerful. But look deeper. Is your silence born from mastery or from fear? A true warrior of the way does not speak recklessly, but neither do they remain silent when virtue is at stake. They do not shout for attention, but they raise their voice when truth is being drowned. You must learn to discern when silence is strength and when silence is surrender. When you witness lies, injustice, or corruption, your silence is not invisible. It echoes, it reinforces, it spreads. If you wish to live by the way, remember this: your voice matters, not for glory, not for control, but for courage, reason, and integrity. So when the inner question arises, should I speak or stay silent? Ask a deeper one: am I silent because I am wise, or because I am afraid? That is the line between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one. Subscribe for more, Student of the Way.